Why don't black men go to singles mixers in Dallas? Nana had to have a whole conversation about it at the singles mixer today because a man that was not black asked me, mind you, we were like in full conversation. He was my perfect match. We had match. And he was like, it's a lot of black women here, but it's not a lot of black men. And I was like, and I kindly directed him to TikTok. And this time, I didn't just have to direct him to TikTok. I can also direct him to YouTube. Not the whole controversy that made it to a whole YouTuber's page. I done went viral, all that stuff. Like, he at least could have tagged me. But I don't even have anything productive to say on it. So I just continue to post what I'm going to post about these singles mixers. If y'all want to go, y'all want to go. If black men don't want to go, then they don't go. However, I'm going to continue to go. And the girls that want to go are also going to go. And that's all I got to say about the conversation.
Single men, help me out here, okay? Leave it in the comments, DM me, whatever you're most comfortable with. I actually want your opinion, believe it or not. Your opinion counts just as much. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. My question is, what do you think is holding men back from wanting to go to a singles event? Do you think that men think they will look desperate? Do you think men are scared of rejection? Do you think it's a pride thing? Please tell me. I would love to know the opinion on the male end because I'm really trying to kind of crack the code here. Like, what would it take for you men to feel more motivated to come to a singles event? So let me know in the comments. Thank you.
Okay, y'all, let me tell you this quick story before I go into my meeting. So over the weekend, I went to a singles mixer. Girls, women, ladies. The only requirement that I had was the man be tall. Because I live in Texas, and for whatever reason, Texas is not pumping out a lot of tall men, right? So that was my only requirement. I get into the mixer. To my surprise, there was no men in there. Not a one. Not even a waiter. It was all of us beautiful ladies having the same conversation. Where are the men? Y'all told us that we was never going to be able to be in a relationship or find anybody to communicate with if we always stay in the house. So we decided, all 75 of us, to come out the house. And where were y'all? Where are y'all ever at? Because obviously we be going to the wrong places, right? Y'all, where? Y'all not at the supermarket like y'all said y'all was. Y'all not at the hardware store like you told us you would be. Y'all not in church. Y'all not at the cigar bar. Y'all, like, where are y'all? Let us know so that we can meet y'all where y'all are. Because obviously we are in the wrong place. And y'all definitely don't be going to no singles mixers. So what's happening, y'all? Please explain to us ladies who went outside this weekend only to find no men. I'm just saying.
All right, everyone always asks where I am. I'm at number 38 at the dating event hosted by the group chat Denver in my purple and pink name tag, meaning I'm looking for love, so come find me.
I am hoping this reaches the right people. If you are in the Valley, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, Mesa, Chandler, we are hosting a singles pickleball event this Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Pickler in Tempe. Right now, we are short on men. The age brackets are going to be 25 to 45-year-olds. If you are a man or if you know one who is self-aware, open to growth, grounded, intentional, this is for you. If we end up getting more men, I will be opening up more spots for women, but right now, I'm looking for some good men. I know they're out there. So if this is for you, I will send you a link.
So I'm 31, single for the first time in 11 years, and I thought I was ready to be in my Playboy era. So dating apps, casual fun, maybe even taking a few boys home. Sorry, Mom. But here's the thing about being a Playboy when you are 31 and fresh out of a long-term relationship. you're not really experienced doing casual. So as much as you want to, your brain is still kind of stuck on wife mode. So one second you are swiping right, and the next you are making him coffee and driving him to work at 5 a.m. But that's just normal to you. I've spent the last 11 years of my life caring for someone. And even though that's just part of my nature, the point of this era is to focus on myself. So that is exactly why I am swearing off boys for Solo September. Because as much as I want to be in my Playboy era, I think it's more important that I'm in my selfish era first.
I mean, focusing on yourself, why does that mean bad behavior? I think that's what I don't get. You know what I mean? Like, no shame. I understand, like, the first thing that you probably want to do is like, man, I've been in this relationship for so long. Time for me to go find somebody else and experience them. Right? But the first thing modern women seem to do is want to go out there and just like be reckless. Just like throw all caution to the wind. Not even a pinch of it. I'm just gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit. All caution to the wind. All of it.
Story time. Okay. So a while ago, I was seeing this guy, and we were dating. We were seeing each other, whatever. And one time he came over for a sleepover, right? And so we had our sleepover. We did our sleepover activities. And he asked me a really, really good question after, our sleepover. And he was like, babe, out of curiosity, where do I rank? Because, of course, what every guy is dying to know, right? And so, I mean, I liked the guy, and he was nice and whatever the case is. But I'm also not going to, like, fucking inflate a man's ego and blow his head up because that's all they need, right? So I told him, like, oh, you're definitely up there. But he was like, no, like, give me a number. And at this point, I'm just like, I like the guy. I'm like, oh, you rank like 2 or 3. 2 or 3, I told him. And he's like, oh, cool. Out of how many? And I told him how many. It was more than 2 or 3, right? I think I told him like 6 or something out of 6, right? Which I think it's like pretty good. It's top 2, top 3, whatever. And he was like, okay, cool, thanks. I was like, all right, cool. And of course, I had this super, super great idea of asking him the same question, which, by the way, ladies, there's never any fucking need to ask that question because 1, why do we care? And 2, why do we care, right? But I asked him the same question. I was like, oh, okay, well, babe, out of curiosity, like, where do I rank? He's like, oh yeah, you're in the number 3 spot for sure. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Top 3, I mean, whatever. Again, like, I don't really give a shit. But then I asked him, okay, cool, I'm like, number 3, whatever. Out of how many? He's like, out of 3. That's on me for even asking the fucking question to begin with. That's on fucking me. I should have known, like, what do I expect? For play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and that was a stupid fucking question. Anyway, needless to say, I'm not seeing this person anymore. But moral of the story, ladies, there's never a fucking need to ask these stupid fucking questions.
I made a video saying if a man doesn't chase women, what does he chase? It was a serious question, but then a bunch of angry men got in the comment sections, wrote their opinions, which is completely fair, which is completely fine, but now it's my turn. So when I say chase women, I'm sorry for not being more specific. I will take full accountability because I know when talking to men, you have to be very, very specific. So I know this, I should know better. But what I really meant is being more persistent, deciding, you know what, this is the woman I like, and if she doesn't text me back, then I'm going to send a double text, right? I'm going to do a little chasing because she's the woman, and I'm not going to sit up here and try to match her energy because she is a woman and I am a man, right? So maybe if I don't get a text back, instead of waiting, call her. You know, maybe I could show some consistency. That's more so what I meant. But because I know men are scary creatures that do scary things to women, I know why it got blown out of context, because when you guys hear chase women, you think of actually chasing down a woman that's showing absolutely no interest in you and wants to be left the fuck alone. The second comment that I saw that was very common is that you guys don't chase women because you're chasing money. And all I'm gonna say about that is you're a fucking liar. And even if you are, you know, chasing it, a lot of the comments I saw is like, oh, well, if a woman really likes you, you don't have to chase her. Well, the money must not like you then, because it's fucking running way faster than you ever could.
I really know this is not a serious video. It's not. It can't be. If you're talking about, why don't you go ahead and send that double text? Why don't you call her and make sure she's okay? I don't know, because she's an adult. And if she wants to talk, she can talk. I'm not going to be sitting up here wasting my time trying to talk to somebody that don't want to talk to me. She know how to use that phone when her friends text her. Hey, we going to the Chris Brown concert. We going to the club. She know how to use that phone. Ain't no need to be double texting.
Majority of men in America earn less than $80,000 a year, meaning that majority of men in America are average earners. Majority of households in America are two-income households. So yes, you know what that means? It means that you are likely going to have to get with an average earning man, and together you guys are going to build and accumulate wealth together. That is what lots of successful, happy married couples have done. That is not promoting struggle love. That is reality. I'm sorry, I'm going to continue to preach about reality because Shira has many of you living in a fictional narrative where there are enough rich men to go around, and one of them is just going to come and swoop you off your feet and pay all of your bills. I'm sorry. Stop looking for a savior in a man.
This is how funny it is to be an aging woman over 50. I don't know when this starts, but so I'm at the doctor's this morning getting some tests done, including a DEXA scan, earlier than I need to, but because of family history and yada yada. And I, of course, that whole time I'm thinking about aging and what it's going to mean to age. And then after that, I go to yoga, and I'm feeling kind of young and fit because of yoga. But as I do the yoga, I'm not as good as I was and can't lift my legs as well. And I'm noticing the difference, aches and pains. So then I'm back to thinking about aging again. And when I did put my ponytail up this morning, I'm seeing a little bit of thinning hair right there. That's making me think about aging. Then I go to the grocery store and I'm walking around and I'm grabbing eggs from out of the cooler, and I hear some guy say, "Nice pants." And I knew he was right over my shoulder. So I kind of turned around and looked at him to see if he's talking to me. And I said, "Thanks." Because I've got on these little genie pants or whatever. I said, "Thanks." And he goes, "No, really, those look really good on you." He couldn't have been a day older than 25. If that. And I was laughing because he totally had that, you know, if you wink the right way direction kind of vibe. And then, of course, what I'm going home feeling like the hot chick again. And, you know, I'm like, what? It's the most contradicting, ironic time in our life. It's like, I don't know who to be. I don't know. You know, you put your picture of yourself, you feeling cute, like on YouTube or on one of the socials, and somebody's going to say that woman hit a wall, and then you're going to tank. But when I go out and I'm actually out and about, I feel good. I get approached. I see interest from guys. Not that I want to date, trust me right now. But I don't know. I'm just sharing the story because this is what it's like to be 54.
Well, if you're talking about the young guy, that's what men are saying. Like, these young guys see something and they're like, "Oh, I like that. I like the way that you look." And so they'll come over and get some of what you have, but they'll send you back out to the streets. You're looking for a man that's going to take you a little bit more seriously than that. At least I think so.
You know how we always say nice guys finish last? Actually, no. Nice guys always crack. They always crack. They are not... They're nice until they crack. So instead of nice guys always finish last, we're like, nice guys always crack. Because y'all bitches always crack. Like earlier today, this guy was trying to get with me, and I was like, no. So then he was like, "Damn, I didn't know you had a shitty personality." And to preface that, My personality mirrors whoever the fuck I'm with. So if you think my personality's shitty, maybe you're.
So what I'm hearing is no accountability. Got it.
So I'm at a bar, two guys walk in. One is very, very tall. A few minutes later, we find ourselves back to back with the tall guy and his friend, and they are ordering us drinks. We're chatting with them. About 30 minutes in, the friend casually mentions to me, oh yeah, my buddy here who plays for the Lakers. Okay. We're joking about him coming on the show, coming on Daily Dirty. Yeah. And he goes, nah, I'd get canceled. I can't come on. And we're like, no, you'd be great. You're not going to get canceled. And he goes, no, I would, because I think feminism is bad.
Okay. Oh. And I knew where this was going. Believe people when they tell you who they are.
Me and my friend both are kind of like, okay, so to you, what does feminism mean? Gave a botched answer.
Of course.
Doesn't know what feminism is. He says, I think it's bad when women speak publicly in media about sex. It promotes hedonism, et cetera, et cetera. And I look at him and I go, okay, so you're not fucking bitches then?
Are you a monk?
He's 2 feet taller than me. And I'm like, you think that's bad? You think it's promoting hedonism? You better not be participating in that either, my man.
And you bought me drinks.
Well, after watching this video, I can kind of see why he, made the statements that he made, to be honest.
When I say that women are the prize, I genuinely mean it. Like, I'm not just spewing shit. Like, men should be grateful for your presence. Mine is. I ask all the time, like, what can I do to make your day better? And he's like, I just want you to exist. I'm talking about fact. I'm talking about the fact that men who are married to women make more money, their businesses are more successful, and they're more happy. Like, they're less depressed. So, like, put it out as is, but women are the prize. They do make your life better. And I'm sorry, if you disagree, you're probably gay.
Do you think that men might make more money and have more successful businesses because they have more mouths to feed? When it's just me, I can kind of coast and do my thing. But when it would be the same thing if he had a child, right? He would still have to provide for the child. So he'd have to get out there and hustle. Like a woman would do the same thing. So it's not necessarily that you're the prize, but you can be a motivation for the man. You know what I mean? Like, you're not bigger than the program, I think is what I'm trying to say. Now, if you want to say that you're helping him, you're assisting him, then that's one thing, right? So say, for instance, I think statistics show that a lot of men who enter marriage, they're already on their way up. They're already getting to the place where they need to be in order to be married, right? So they're already pretty stable. But when a woman comes along and she adds herself to the equation, and the more and more I think about that, it is the case in a lot of situations that I've seen. But when they're on the upward trajectory, you come in, that's going to help the man, that's going to benefit him, right? But that doesn't mean that you're the prize. Like, you're not really a prize. You're a help. You're a helpmate. Does that make sense? Like, you're not the one that makes everything go around because he already had everything going around. What he does is he puts somebody on his team that says, oh, shoot, I can do this, and this. I can handle this, and this. So you become an asset to him versus a liability, not a prize. You're just let me not say just. You're a help. You're a welcomed addition, assuming that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Every day I realize that you men are losing your fucking marbles, okay? Quick little PSA. Don't ever think you can offer me the bare minimum and I'm gonna just deal with it. Don't ever think you can offer me the bare minimum and I would ever want you to be my man. Don't ever think that you can offer me the bare minimum and just don't ever think that you're gonna offer me the bare minimum. You're fucking nuts, all right? Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. I should never have to earn a date to a nice restaurant. If that's your mentality as a man, don't ever come in my fucking inbox.
Why are we sending out PSAs to strangers? These men aren't checking for you.
Am I really that intense, or do these men just need to get their testosterone levels checked? Period.
It's getting late. Just go home.
It is such a huge compliment for someone to call you. The word has been used to call somebody weak when really Pussy means strength. It means a portal. It means like a gateway to other dimensions. Our reproductive systems allow us women to have the life force energy within us that creates the life, that allows souls to enter through you, to let them come into this dimension in a physical body. I am just saying, if somebody calls you up, you say, holy smokes, you right. I am a portal. I am. It is such a blessing to be a woman. If you don't think it is, you need to shift that mindset and understand you are a goddess. I'm here are for my queens and kings to understand that life is exactly what we make it to be. And if you really want to have a life filled with an abundance of love and wealth, it all starts with the relationship with you and yourself. And when you work on that and you work on relationships of who you attract into your life, then everything else falls in place. I love you all. And yeah, definitely call me.
I'm not sure what this is, but I don't think this is it.
So I just saw a TikTok of a man sitting in the passenger seat, riding passenger princess while his wife is driving. They're at the gas station. He says, normally I would be pumping the gas, but the one time I didn't. No, the fuck you don't. I can already tell that you're lying. He's claiming that he's not pumping the gas because he's working. He's got his little laptop. He's making a TikTok. He says his wife just got hit on by a man that says she's too beautiful to be pumping the gas. He pans over, shows the man pumping his gas for him while he's sitting in the passenger seat. The man who hit on his wife told her that she was too beautiful to pump her gas. So he's doing it for her while her husband is sitting in the passenger seat. What kind of man? What kind of man? You couldn't get out. You couldn't close your little tiny laptop. You couldn't put your phone down and get out and say, hey man, you're right. My wife is too beautiful to be pumping the gas. I'ma do it. No, instead you're letting another man do it? That is so embarrassing. Small.
Well, first of all, I think the wife could have just handled the gas that one time for herself. To be honest with you, she did not have to do that. Even when the man came up and, no, I insist, my husband's in the car. I appreciate it, but my husband's in the car. That's how the wife would respect her husband. Well, the man, I don't want to hear that. If the man's been pumping the gas and driving this whole time, I think at one point in time, he deserves a break. I think she'll be all right. Whenever she goes on road trips and all that other stuff, we don't hear nothing about a man having to pump gas. I think she's okay to pump the gas. One time. Every so often, I think she's all right to do it. She'll be all right.
Frog with people that are way younger than him, literally more than half his age. Some will say to each his own, but it just starts to get to a point. Like, it is getting to a point. Why do you like them young? Why do you like them that young? There's 1,000,001 women out here. I'm not going to lie. There's 1,000,001 women out here that are closer to your age, if not your age. But you want to keep digging and picking with the young girls. They don't make it no better because these young girls keep wanting to mess with Shaq. And then as soon as things don't go their way, now they hoot and holler on the internet about, oh, he did this to me and he promised.
I'm telling you, these modern women be figuring out and finding out ways to hate on whoever is getting money and they're not.
I'm sorry if this makes me a bitch, but if there's no dinner by date 3, you're done. It's giving broke and hashtag unserious. And honestly, it should be by date 2, but I digress.
And remember, ladies, broke men invented romance because they didn't have money. So get the money.
So my hot take is that it's actually women who ruined modern romance, not men. So I know some girls will disagree with me and say that I'm not being a girl's girl, but this is just my opinion based off of my observations. But I honestly feel like a lot of girls these days don't understand what it takes to be in a long-term and a meaningful and genuine relationship. And I think like this issue mainly came from social media, especially TikTok, because I see these type of girls on TikTok all the time, and it's always my friends who are addicted to social media who think this way. When they get asked like, oh, what do you bring to the table? They say, what do you mean what do I bring to the table? I'm just a girl. And these girls would say, oh, I deserve all this princess treatment, da da da, which yes, you deserve princess treatment. but that doesn't mean you should not be doing anything for him. A princess has duties and responsibilities as well. And it just kind of annoys me when these girls would leave their man just because he got laid off, or get mad at him because he didn't get her like the designer purse that she wanted. Because I'm just like, you're setting such a bad example for other girls and other people, because not all girls are like that. Not all girls, you know, take things for granted. And like, if their man does something for them, they just say, well, of course, this is the bare minimum. And I'm like, even if something is the bare minimum, you should still, you know, say thank you. And it just like pisses me off when people think they're so entitled to everything that their man does for them. Like, the least you can do is be grateful and express that. You should probably do something in return. I'm not saying like treat it as like a transaction, but I'm saying like if he treats you well, you need to treat him well too. And I literally have friends who just call their man their wallet, and it just kind of, I don't know, it's just very dehumanizing. It's kind of made me really sad recently because my boyfriend is a athlete, and he got hurt, or he injured his foot, so he had surgery. And a few days after, he told me that he was actually really scared that I would leave him when he told me that he got injured, because having an injury, you know, means he can't play, and it means like less money. So he's gonna make less money than he did last year, and he just, you know, was really scared that I was gonna leave him when I found out. And it just made me sad because my man shouldn't have to think like that. Like, he shouldn't have to think that I'm just gonna leave him when things get rough. And I know it's not something that I did that made him think that. I just know it's because of like social media. And yeah, that kind of hit a little bit too close to home. And it just like made me think back on all the times like where I've had these types of conversations with other girls, and I'm just like, girl, you're delusional. You sound like a child, literally. But yeah, that's my hot take. Everyone treat their man, treat their woman well, and happily ever after. Also, I got my nails done. I love it.
Walking date. It's fine. A walking date. This is what life has come to. How do you go on a date sober? I don't want to be sober for this.
Put some freckles on. We'll do a swig of tequila.
A swig of tequila at 10 a.m.
What kind of questions do they ask on a walking date? I've never.
Questions?
I don't know.
Don't make me more nervous. This isn't a fucking job interview.
Can you see yourself in 5 years?
Like, not with him.
This could be the rest of your life with this man.
I don't think this is the rest
But
of my
maybe
life.
it's
If he's seduced me to a walking
Yeah,
date.
but maybe it's the nice man that like just doesn't want to go out, get drunk for no reason.
He came back from Ibiza.
Okay.
How do I do a face for a walking date?
I don't know.
Is it too much?
It's giving, I don't give a fuck. I haven't spent.
I
2
give
hours.
so many fucks, it's not funny though.
Yeah, I know.
Need to pump up.
I got the tequila.
Yep. I think I need a squeak.
Okay,
I actually need a
You
squeak. Let's go.
You need a swig.
I park my car, get out, walk into Smoothie King, walking towards the door, right? There's a guy, we make eye contact, keeps walking, he's in front of me. He opens the door and does not open it for me, doesn't even hold it for me, just lets it slam. That has to be the most unattractive thing a person can do. Nothing is worse than that. How are you not gonna hold the door? If it was flipped, I would have held the door for him. So unattractive.
Here go my beef with black men, right? I'm watching this rollout for Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. First of all, let's just stop there. You see that? You see how that sound? But my beef with black men is not only will y'all do anything for a motherfucking American dollar, to add insult to injury, I'm watching the rollout for the fight, the weigh-in, whatever they was at, on Jake Paul's page. And he posted a picture, and it's probably AI animated. It don't matter. Either way it goes, I don't know if it's real or not, but he posted it for the whole world to see. And they're this close face to face, and he leans in and kisses the man. Not only do I have a problem with this because so many kids follow Jake Paul, but why is it always that black men, y'all will fight and beat up on women, but y'all will let white men emasculate y'all for the sake of money? Y'all literally will let white men and women now, and it's women now, Ben really emasculate y'all. Y'all will let them degrade y'all, but y'all biggest beef, y'all biggest op be black women. Like, where's the smoke at for these people? It's nowhere in hell. I don't care how much money they're giving me. The way that he beat up on his baby mamas, That would have been me at Jake Paul doorstep this morning. We not y'all enemy. The enemy y'all got, y'all running from.
This is what I don't understand. What does Tank have to do with us? What does Gervonta Davis and what he's doing have to do with black men in general? Well, y'all do it for them, but no. Leave that on him. Y'all be getting in here, seeing one thing, and be getting in your feelings. That don't got nothing to do with him.
Another switch the narrative thought that I have for you to bounce around in your mind. Okay, here's the scenario. I maybe, if I want to have a kid someday, definitely don't want a man around at any point during any of it. I think I would enjoy raising a human being and putting an adult out in the world that I know I raised correctly, right? I think that would be, I don't really like babies, but like raising a human being to be a good human being would be fun, right? But I don't want a man around for any of that. I don't want to have a man's baby. I don't want there to be a father, right? And everyone's first thought when you say that is a kid needs a father, right? A kid needs a father. If a kid doesn't have a dad, they're going to end up messed up, right? No. Okay? And stay with me here, all right? Because when you think about a single mother or a kid who doesn't have a job, the scenario is one of two things, right? There was a dad before the mom had the kid, and the dad left. Trauma, okay? Number two, there was a dad, the kid was birthed, then the dad left, or died, or whatever they did, trauma, okay? Trauma in both scenarios. The first scenario, there's trauma on the mother, because she was hurt by a man that she was involved with, right? And that's normal. But there's going to be trauma from that she inevitably, just in the natural human way, passes down onto her kid, right? Like subconsciously, it's bound to happen. When you're traumatized, it spills out onto the people around you, especially your kids. And that's not a bad thing. That's just the way of the world. That's how it's going to go. Therefore, the kid is going to be traumatized or in some kind of way messed up because of a man, right? In the second scenario, the trauma is on the kid because they had a dad around. The dad left or is gone now, right? And the kid is traumatized from the dad not being there. Because it's direct versus indirect trauma. But either way, trauma from a man, right? The idea that a single mom and a kid without a dad are missing something or going to be worse off because they don't have a husband or dad around is not because they don't have a husband or a dad around. It's because there was a man there at some point. Are you following me? Okay, so if I were to go adopt a kid or have one on my own later in life and I decide to raise it without a dad, it's not going to be messed up because there was no man around to mess things up in the first place. Also, yes, I agree that children, all humans, need all kinds of influences in their lives, including men, right? But just because I don't have a romantic partner or a father to my child or whatever it may be, doesn't mean that the kid is never going to see a man ever. Like, I have a dad who's great. I have a brother who's great. I have guy friends who are great. I'm sure at that, maybe if I get to that point in my life, that I'll have friends who have husbands that like men are around, right? And then I get to choose which male figures in my life that I want to be around my kid, positively influencing them and showing them what a good man should, can, and will be. Okay? You don't have to be having sexual relations with a man for them to be a positive influence on your kid. So just don't do it, period. Okay? The only time a kid suffers the consequences of not having a dad is if a man was there in the first place. So think about that.
I mean, it felt like just the fact that you were saying you would teach your son how to be a good man or what a good man should be. I think it's contradictory because you're talking about all of the things that a man isn't, and you wouldn't want a man messing that up. With that mindset, I don't think you're in a position to be trying to teach a man how to be anything, trying to teach a young man how to be anything close to that. You don't know. You need to find him somebody, somewhere, some sports or activity, whatever it is that allows him to test and refine his strength is really what you need to do, to be honest.
Okay, y'all, listen to the story. Listen! Okay, but why are my curls curling right now? So this is going to be a story time of how an ex left me in New York. And I posted this on my close friends, and everybody completely roasted me for having stayed after that. Okay, so let me set the scene, because We were in New York. We went for a little Christmas time vacation. We actually ended up going to a nightclub on day one. I was upset at him that day because I ended up losing a jacket that I told him to make sure, like, hey, I want to make sure I go home with this because it was a really expensive jacket. I left without it on. I don't fully blame him because obviously we were both drunk and, like, it was hella dark. The jacket wasn't going to come home with me. Be real. So the second night, we actually end up going to another bar, and this one's like Christmas themed. If you were in New York, you know like which one I'm talking about, or you might have seen it like literally all over your For You page. But we ended up going to that bar. He ended up getting super, super drunk, and then he starts like talking to this one girl, like as we were crossing by them, about their iPhones, like super, super randomly. Sorry, there was like a weirdo guy. So anyways, he's talking to this girl. I literally tap him and I tell him like, hey, stop, because it was bugging me that he was talking to this girl about some random iPhone. So then he proceeds to keep talking to this girl, so I shove him forward out of the way. Whatever, we're enjoying our night. I'm like getting progressively angry at him because I'm not getting drunk. He's getting drunk and he's still like trying to just be friendly to everybody, which is fine because I knew that he was a friendly person when we started talking and dating and stuff. But at that time, like I was telling him like, this is bothering me, stop doing it. And it was bothering me that he wasn't stopping. So then eventually he ends up getting like these guys to come up to me and be like, hey, like let's take your picture. We get a picture from like this photographer guy. They start making small talk with me, basically saying that he told them that I was angry and that I should not be angry at him and yada yada yada, which made me more angry because I was like, why are you getting strangers to talk to me about how you should be apologizing and acting right? So eventually I tell him like, hey, I want to go home, and this is probably like 2 a.m, and I'm just like not having it. I'm not having a good time. I'm like, I want to go. He's telling me to stay. I think at one point he did mention like he grabbed my arm to kind of like keep me there, and I was like, no, I'm going home. And I like snapped my arm out of him, went to coat check, grabbed my coat, and then I left. Like, it was near the subway station, but like I didn't know where I was, so I had a GPS, everything, and I had bad signal, so I was like roaming around the street for a bit trying to figure out how to get there. And silly me to think that like because he was my boyfriend, he was gonna end up following me shortly after and running after me. No, babes. No. The ride from our, like the location we were at the bar to our place in Queens was probably like a 25 to 40 minute train ride. So I rode the entire train by myself. I get off at the train, again thinking like, oh, he probably got on the train by now and he's on his way here. I'll just wait. I look at his location, babes. Still in that bar. He was still in that bar. So I make my way into the house. Mind you, I don't think he had the code, so I kind of knew he was going to end up struggling. But I make my way into the house, get into bed, and mind you, this entire trip, I had been so sick, like taking NyQuil, DayQuil, whatever, every single freaking day. So time progresses. It's probably like 2:40 at this point, and I finally see his location start to move. Gets on the subway. He gets home eventually, super drunk. I have no idea what he did while he was still in there. I was literally crying, coughing, sneezing, the whole shebang. And I honestly don't remember getting an apology for this. But maybe I did, who knows? Honestly, it was such a long time ago. But yeah, that's a story of how I got left in New York City by myself.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it does actually sound like you are the problem here. Why didn't he chase after me? Well, he did try to hold you back and you ripped your arm away. Are you okay right now? You wanted the man, as you said, was friendly. You wanted him to stop being friendly. He wasn't even flirting. He was just talking to the girl. Are you good?
I made a video supporting Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and the response that I got is insane. Mind you, most of these comments were ones I deleted from girls. These comments called me a pick-me, and one girl even commented that she was reporting my video for hate speech. Are we so effing for real right now? I don't care how much hate I get from that video. I am dying on this hill. Men's mental health matters. And it's not just a thing in June. It matters every single day, actually. Look, I'm a girl, so I can say this. The double standards that women have when it comes to talking about a man's mental health, bizarre. Men are insecure in their bodies too. Men cry. Men go to therapy. Are we forgetting that it is almost 4 times more likely for a man to commit than a woman? It's almost like there's a reason. Look, almost all of my followers are guys, so I didn't just want to speak up on this because I felt like I had to. I wanted to. And yes, it breaks my heart, but it honestly disgusts me even more disagreeing with what I have to say. Men have mental health too, and it's important to talk about. So keep the hate comments coming, I can handle them. And for the men seeing this, please take care of yourself because your mental health is just as important as anybody else's.
Have you heard about the movement where girls are ditching dating apps and trying to find men at Home Depot instead?
It's always like the TikTok commentaries. Just go to Home Depot, go to the lumber section.
So there's this girl named Caitlin Anzari who has been sharing her journey on TikTok. So the idea is that like Home Depot has blue collar, hardworking men. Typically there's a lot of cute guys at Home Depot, you know? So she took this challenge literally and she went to Home Depot and she was dressed cute. And she found this guy and recorded the whole thing. She saw him and she was like, oh my gosh, that guy's cute. So she goes up to him and she's literally recording, but she's like hiding her phone somehow. She asks him, she says, I'm trying to hang a picture. Like, do you think you could help me find the stuff that I need?
Stop
and you can tell he's kind of like flustered, but he's like, yeah, sure. So he takes her to like the wall hanging aisle, finds this stuff to hang it and starts like asking her questions about the painting. Like, what size is it? Is there a wire in the back? And there's no painting. There's no painting. She just made it up.
Starting up the relationship on a lie.
Yeah. So she's just like making up dimensions for this piece of art. And she's like, it's like 30 by 20. Does it have a wire? No. So he ends up getting her the stuff and then he starts walking away and she's like, oh dang, like nothing came of it. And then he turns back around and asks for her number.
Stop it.
Yeah. So she gives him her number. He texts her and says like, I'm sorry I made a fool out of myself. I was really flustered. Like it's not every day a pretty girl comes up to you and asks for help.
Cute.
And so he told her like, if it's okay with you, I'd love to help you hang this picture.
Stop. She's got to go find a picture.
And then he says, I'd also love to take you to dinner before, if that's okay.
Oh my gosh.
So he literally asks her on a date. They go to dinner and then he comes and helps her hang up the painting. That was in October and they're still dating.
That's just, again, so sweet. I have some follow-up questions I'd like to ask.
Okay.
Are boys starting to know about the trend that women are trying to find men at Home Depot? Okay, my second question. What is the actual chance in these kind of meet cutes that he's actually single? Like, I'm not pessimistic here. I just, like, what are the actual chances? He's actually single, he's a good dude, and they're gonna vibe.
Well, you don't know any of that. That's why they're going on a date. It involves her. You know, these questions come from a place of you wanting assurance. The exact same thing that men are asking for, you're asking for. But when a man asks for assurance, why don't you just do it? Just come up and approach. No, I need assurance that you actually want me to approach. I don't want to throw myself out there and get called a creep and a weirdo. Just do it. But now a woman is coming over. She's working her way in. Okay, let me figure out. I really like this guy, or I think I like him. He's attractive to me. Let me see how I can get in. That's what y'all want men to do. And now the man says, "Oh shoot," and then he has time to come back later and say, "Hey, I'm sorry about that. I was really flustered. I'm sorry I acted that way. But can I take you out to dinner?" Sure, that happened because she was open, and that happened because she worked her way into essentially shaking his hand, essentially saying, "Hi, my name is nice to meet you." Having a normal interaction with somebody. It was intentional, but it kind of flowed into something normal. This is what a lot of women are, this is what you're looking for, but you don't know how to do it. And men are telling you, it don't got to be all of that. Just come up and ask me, well, do they know it's happening? They don't care. Men don't care if it's happening or if it isn't. It's benefiting both of us. If you come up, you say, "Hi, I know you like me." You're giving me the green light to shoot my shot. I'm going to shoot. I might miss, but you're telling me, here's your opportunity. You're giving me a chance. If you're sitting over there in a club or wherever, dimly lit, can't see your face, closed off body language, how will I know there's a green light? I can't see. Your light's broken. Turn your light on so somebody can see. That's all men are asking for. This is easy.
And I'm not gonna lie, y'all can keep the men that are fashionistas, the pretty boys, the men that don't like to get dirty. Y'all can keep them. I'm good. Over here, I like a man that wants to get dirty, build something for his girl, be outside, work out and get sweaty, just like be a man. Like, I like a manly man. I don't want a man that has a nail appointment to get the clear gloss on his fingers or go and get pedicures on a monthly basis. Like, I'm good. Like, baby, come home to me, sweaty and gross. I'll start your shower for you. Like, I'll cook us up something good. Like, those relationships thrive. I feel like when a woman is feminine and the man is manly. Like, just be a man. That's what I like. As far as me, give me the man that wants to be a man. Give me the man that doesn't care to get sweaty or be sweaty around me. Give me the man that doesn't care to get his hands dirty. That's the man I want.
Somebody in the comments was like, y'all like manly men until y'all find out their political views.
One, she's annoying. Two, she's wrong. Hear me out. Prior to this season, they made $15 to $20 an hour per practice and appearance, and then like $50 to $75 for events, $500 per game. All told, they're making about $75,000 a year, which is a pretty good living considering what they do and that they're easily replaceable. I'm not saying anyone could do it, but there's a lot of women that would love to. Now, this year, they're getting a huge pay increase. They're expected to bring home like $150,000 a year, which is fantastic. But let's talk about the other number. So the veteran quarterback for the Cowboys makes $60 million a year, Dak Prescott. If you remove like the top 3 contracts off their roster, the average player is making about $2.2 million. The players, the ones putting their body on the line, the reason that there's like 80,000 people in that stadium, the reason for the jersey sales, and the reason that those girls have a job. Let's say the first Sunday of the year, the Cowboys cheerleaders decided not to show up. Stadium's still full, beer still sold, everything operates as normal. Just some people might go, hey, we're the cheerleaders. Same Sunday, no football players show up. What would happen? It's not to say that what they do isn't important. I coached cheerleading for 21 years. But there's a reason for the drastic difference in pay. And whether she's too ignorant to understand what's actually happening, or she's doing this to like rage bait or make a point, she's doing more harm than good.
Exactly, man. These Cowboys cheerleaders, depending on, because some of these Cowboys cheerleaders have huge followings on Instagram alone. And if women are following them, which they probably are, they can have a sponsored post. They can make in 3 to 5K. So you're already making 150. You add on 5. You do that every so often. You bring in another cool 20 on top of that. That's 175 just to cheer, just sitting at the house. And that's not even talking about other appearances here and there. You might slide in another 5 to 10. That's 185. Depending on how big your following is on Instagram, these women could probably pull in 190, 200,000 just off of cheerleading. Obviously sponsorships, but that ain't nothing to sneeze at.
I'm single and I have realized that I need to be with someone patient and generous and kind. And that's not a little stress ball stressing me out all the time.
I think the question is, are you going to be stressing him out?